I call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Mrs. Guzman, roll call, please.
Commissioner Moroz.
Present.
Commissioner Palagrud.
Present.
Commissioner Circo.
Present.
Commissioner Sotile.
Present.
And Commissioner Valles.
Present.
Thank you. Welcome to the El Cajon Planning Commission meeting. This meeting is being live streamed on the City of El Cajon website. Appeals of final decisions of the Planning Commission made this evening must be filed in writing with the City Clerk before 5 p.m. Monday, October 3rd, 2022, and must include the payment of a filing fee. If you wish to speak on either a non-agenda or agenda item tonight, please fill out a request to speak card located by the agenda and turn it into the secretary, who will call you up to speak when the agenda item comes up for public comment. We ask that you give us the spelling of your last name. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The display on the podium, as well as other monitors in the chambers, will show time counting down. At 30 seconds, the podium clock readout will turn red, signifying you have 30 seconds until the end of your time. Applicants and individuals representing groups of people may be allowed more time if appropriate. All public hearing comments should be addressed to me as the chair of the commission and not to individual commissioners or staff members. Please turn off all electronic devices if you had not already done so. Pursuant to City Council Resolution number 114-79, a commissioner who has received evidence related to a matter before the Planning Commission, other than an unescorted view of the subject property, is required to disclose such information at the hearing. At this time, we will take comments from any member of the public on any item of business within the jurisdiction of the Commission that is not on the agenda. Under state law, no action can be made on items brought forward under public comment, except to refer it to staff for administration or place it on a future agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to address the Commission under public comment? Please come forward. Okay, seeing that there is none, we will move on to the consent calendar. A single motion will cover all items on the consent calendar. Does the Commission wish to pull any items on the consent calendar?
No.
Okay. Does staff wish to pull any item on the consent calendar?
No.
Okay.
I move to adopt the minutes as recorded.
I'll second.
All right, motion made to adopt minutes by Commissioner Circo, seconded by Commissioner Valles. Please vote. All right, and the motion carries. Next, we will be moving to public hearings. Agenda item number 2, project name is the Shadow Mountain Athletic Field Improvements. It's a replacement bleachers and field netting. It is CEQA exempt and staff recommendation is approve. Staff?
Mr. Chair, I need to recuse myself.
Yep.
Mr. Circo, could you put it on the record for the reason?
Yes. I work for Shadow Mountain. That's why I'm recusing myself.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank you, Chair and Commissioners. So again, for this item, we're discussing proposed improvements to the athletic fields for the Shadow Mountain Community Church campus. So the Shadow Mountain Community Church campus consists of an east and west campus, and they're separated by Greenfield Drive, and they're both on the south side of East Madison Avenue. The entire campus is governed by specific plan number 523. So on this slide, we've shown an aerial map of the subject site. The east campus is shown surrounded in white, and that's approximately 32 acres. And then the subject of tonight's request is the baseball field, which is on the southern portion of the east campus, and that's identified by the yellow circle. So the commission may recall this request actually came before the commission on April 20th of 2021, and it was a minor amendment to the specific plan for the ball fields. The current request actually requires review by the Planning Commission because the architectural concept that's before you tonight deviates from the previous approval by the Planning Commission. So this slide shows the April 20th project, including the structure around the bleachers, finished in stucco, new netting behind home plate, and an arched entry feature. So the applicant did indicate to staff that project changes are needed due to financial concerns regarding construction costs. So this slide shows the currently proposed elevations with new metal bleachers. The base on the bleachers is proposed to have a fabric wrap, which is depicted in blue on the proposed elevations. The applicant has indicated that school-related graphics may be included on the final wrap that goes around the base of the bleachers. Lastly, these elevations also depict new netting behind home plate with the posts up to 35 feet in height. So even though the current request is less elaborate than the original approved project, it remains consistent with features that are found at typical baseball fields and at typical schools. So as such, staff is able to recommend that the project modifications are consistent with the specific plan. So staff's recommendation is that the Planning Commission conduct the public hearing and then adopt the resolutions approving the CEQA exemption and then approving the minor amendment to specific plan number 523.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for staff? So I do have a question. Because we approved the other one, and then, depending on what happens tonight, if this one gets approved, let's say costs come down, and let's say the school decides they want to go back and maybe revisit the first design. Mm-hmm. What has to happen? Does that have to go back through the Planning Commission again since it was approved, or does the whole process start over? How's that work?
Typically, so for the minor amendment process, what we want to make sure is that we're getting a product that's equal in quality to what was originally approved. So if the commission wants to delegate authority to staff to approve something between the original approval and what's proposed tonight, that could be made part of the motion for approval of the project. Great.
Well, I'll ask if there's any speaker cards. We can talk to the speaker about that. All right. If there's no questions, is there any speaker cards for tonight?
I believe the applicant submitted a speaker card.
Great. Let's go ahead and open up public hearing and bring the applicant forward.
Good evening. Thank you for meeting again tonight. My speaker card, actually, I was going to propose exactly what you just asked, which is we would like to have the flexibility to build the nicest product we can. Since the previous approval happened, there's been a tremendous amount of inflation. But in addition to that, just we started with the concept. Concept got approved, then we got quotes, and so the actual bleacher stand, we had a quote for that. But all of the surrounding, the stucco, the arch, all that stuff, those quotes we got after we had approval, and they were just much more expensive than what we could afford. So. Ideally, we'd like to have the flexibility to add some of those components back in as we have funds available. But we know for a fact, as it stands right now, at the minimum, we want to be able to do the bleachers and then as much more as we're able to afford as we go.
Great. Oh, can you give us your name, spelling of your last name for the record?
My apologies. Brian Snow, Bryan, SNOW. And,
okay, great.
Yep. I work for Shadow Mountain Church.
Okay, so either way, the bleachers are going in.
Yep.
And then you're saying if down the road you can afford to build structure around them, is that something that you would try to do all at once or in phases? What's your thoughts?
I think that it's probably unlikely that we could do it all at once because just the complexity of the project, it's pretty significant. Honestly, we thought that given the location, that it would be kind of less of an issue. There is no visibility to from the street. You can't see this. It basically it only involves backyard neighbors. But it does impact our participants who come and see it. So we want to make it as nice as we can. But in all reality, the way I could see it happening realistically is we get the bleachers in place. That builds some excitement around it. Some additional donations come in. Maybe we're able to do the arch, and then even better if enough money came in that we could do the full structure. That would be even better. But I don't want to have to. I'd like to avoid an additional legislative step if possible, and just have the flexibility to have some. Some give and take between what we presented tonight is a pretty stripped down version, and what you previously approved was kind of the Cadillac version.
Okay. Any questions? Yes.
In regards to the big structure in the back,
Is your microphone on?
probably not. There we go. So with the structure, the big stucco structure that you have there, there'll be enough clearance. You're building these bleachers as to have that happen in the future. So if there is some leniency, we don't have to reconfigure anything.
Correct.
You can just
That's
go
right.
ahead and throw it in place.
It'd be lipstick on the project, basically. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yes. So one of the things that I liked in the first, I'm sure you liked everything about the first
Absolutely. It was
project.
beautiful.
But is that there was sunshade. So that's always, as a nurse, I'm always thinking about, health and safety.
Yep.
And I've been that parent sitting on bleachers in full sun, and a lot of times you don't want to bring something else like an umbrella because it obstructs someone else's view and things like that. Will there be an option within this later one to at least have some kind of sunshade?
There is the option because we're doing the netting, and the netting, the sunshade can be incorporated with the netting. That's a very easy addition. Again, I'm assuming that's not something that we would have to come back here for. But yes, as funds allow, I think that would be pretty high up on the list of things to add back in.
Great. All right. Any other questions?
It looks very good. I like the triumphal entry that the Romans used to have.
Which one are you looking at? Because we kind of
The arch.
Yeah, we got rid of that. That's what
I mean. That
yes,
looks
sir.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. What I was thinking is, remember how we did the overlay map? And maybe we could possibly do the same thing, overlay on this one, approving the what's been proposed with the option of doing the overlay. That means doing the what you intended to do. Yeah. So when the gladiators come from the wars, they can go through that, and that's a good thing.
That's very East County. We're ready
right,
to fight.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other speaker cards?
None.
Okay. This time I'd like to make a motion to close public hearing.
I second it.
Motion made by Commissioner Moroz, seconded by Commissioner Sotile. Please vote. So you mentioned we could give the leniency in our, basically spell out that we don't, if he wants to come back, it can be done with staff. And he can lose that layer of, bureaucracy, so to speak.
Yes. So essentially, the minor amendment, once something's approved by the Planning Commission, the minor amendment policy says that staff is required to have any construction plans show the architectural features that were there. So the guidance that we gave to the applicant was that since you're removing those architectural features, we need to go back and have the Planning Commission approve this new design. If the Planning Commission is comfortable with a range between what's proposed tonight and what was previously approved, I think if that direction is given to staff, we can use that flexibility to implement the range of options that the applicant has described.
Yeah. What say you, fellow commissioners? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I was wondering, though, do we need another condition of approval to add to the...
Well, I would probably divert to Barbara on that.
You wouldn't just, when whoever makes the motion, just say as amended.
As amended? Okay, what's been reiterated, okay.
That by your direction could be added into the resolution.
Okay.
Okay. All right. No, that works. Does anyone want to give it a shot?
Let me try.
All right.
So I make a motion to adopt. Oops, let me get back down here. There should be some Jeopardy music playing. And of course, the parrots have now, I've lost my background noise of the parrots. Gosh, I didn't realize it was so far down. Okay.
Button right here brings you back to the top. This button. There you go.
All right. So I make a motion to approve to adopt it says the next resolution in order approving the CEQA exemption and MA 2022-008 to specific plan number 523, and then you had me add, as amended.
Okay.
Oh, subject to conditions as amended.
I second it.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Velez, seconded by Commissioner Sotile. Please vote. All right, and the motion carries. And good luck. We'll see what you end up with. All right, you bet. Have a good one. All right. Is there still a speaker back there? Yeah. Okay, good. It's a good thing we weren't talking anything bad about you. All right, so we are now on to, go up to here. All right, so agenda item number 3, project name is an appeal of director's determination for the Aldi store, an appeal of the director's denial of a finding of public convenience or necessity for an off-sale alcohol license. It is CEQA exempt, and there is a continuance to a date certain for October 4th, 2022. And are there speakers on this?
No speakers.
Okay, so we're going to hold this thing over, correct? We're just going to continue this then?
Yes, the applicant contacted staff late last week and said that they requested the continuance due to an illness on the project team. So we've been working closely with Aldi on the timing of this hearing. They asked for a continuance to a date certain to October 4th. So the continuance to a date certain would mean that no additional public noticing would occur.
Okay.
And then the item obviously would be scheduled for the October 4th hearing.
Okay, great. So is there any motion we need to make on this? No, right?
It would be a motion to continue to a
Okay.
date certain on October 4th.
Okay, great. All right, well, I will make a motion to continue the public hearing to a date certain, October 4th, 2022.
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Moreau, seconded by Commissioner Velez. Please vote. All right,
And motion carries by members present.
Perfect. And it looks like other items for consideration is a proposed resolution of intent to amend the zoning code for deemed approved lodging establishments. So,
Yes, thank you, Chair. So over the past several weeks, the city has experienced code compliance issues at several existing lodging establishments. So staff is bringing this forward and recommending that the Planning Commission adopt the resolution of intention to amend the zoning code so that we can address some of the issues relating to those lodging establishments by updating some definitions, looking at allowed and accessory uses, and then looking at some of the performance standards related to lodging establishments. So tonight we're just asking that you adopt that resolution of intention, and then we would schedule a hearing and bring back additional information.
great. What kind of time frame are you guys looking for to bring it back?
We're potentially looking at bringing this back on October 4th as well.
Okay, great. Great. Yes?
What kind of problems have we been having in these establishments?
We've been having some issues related to the use of vouchers through the county's voucher program.
Okay.
Any other questions for staff?
Yeah, so this isn't the deemed approved lodging. We already did that, but this is amending that,
Correct.
defining what uses are allowed in the hotels and motels.
Essentially, it would be looking at some of those definitions and the list of accessory uses and trying to strengthen the ordinance so it's more clear.
Okay.
Are these the single-room housing that we approved in former motels, that people could live there for 30 days rent?
No, this
Or
is
more?
not related to any of the approved SROs. This is for existing motels that are operating in the city.
Okay, got it.
Great. With that being said, do we want to? I just had a question. When we talk about the vouchers, when you're doing your guys' homework, can you tell me or look into exactly how many? Wow, cool.
We're having a power failure?
That was quick. I didn't even motion to adjourn. Okay. Can we look into how many different entities allow or provide vouchers to these owners countywide? Like besides the counties and the city, nonprofits, anybody that's allowed or that has these vouchers, could you kind of give us a rundown on how many people supply these establishments with vouchers?
We will definitely look into the voucher program and
Yes.
bring back as much information as we can.
Okay.
We are targeting a short turnaround for October 4th, so we will
Yeah.
do what we can to provide
I
as
appreciate
much
that.
information as possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, if I could make a suggestion, I don't know about reaching out to the East County Homeless Task Force, maybe their shelter and housing group. They might have someone that could come and speak to the issue. I don't know if that would be appropriate or if that would be part of public comment or something like that, if that was something that we had a question. But I think they work with a lot of the nonprofits.
Good to know. All right, so this is basically a motion. You want us to make a motion then?
Yes. So
Okay.
staff's recommending that a motion be made to adopt the resolution of intention.
Okay. Anyone want to give that a shot?
Yeah, so move.
Second.
All right. Is that clear? Is that clear enough?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Do we need to vote?
Motion made by Commissioner Sotile, seconded by Commissioner Circo. Please vote. Okay. And do we have any other staff communication at this time?
Yes, staff did want to provide an update to the Planning Commission. Last week on September 13th, the City Council held the appeal hearing for the tentative parcel map related to the two-lot parcel map for Oakdale and Mint Avenues. We had multiple speakers that again came to the City Council. The City Council had a discussion that I would characterize as similar to that of the Planning Commission. So ultimately looking at the findings and then the general plan consistency of what the applicant had proposed. The final vote was to deny the appeal at a vote of 4-1. And then the appeal was denied, and so the map was approved as approved by the Planning Commission.
With the street going through.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
May I ask who the one was?
Yes, Councilmember Goebel.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Anything for staff?
No?
All right, then I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right, I'll give it to you. Motion made by Commissioner Moreau, seconded by Commissioner Paula Grood. Please vote.
And motion carries by unanimous vote of members present.
Great, thank you. Anything else on the agenda for October 4th besides the Aldi coming back, project-wise?
We do anticipate additional items on that agenda, but we
Yep.
will need to confirm those and send out the public hearing notices, but it should be a full agenda.
Oh, good. All right, thank you. And how do you turn this sucker off?